When the mountain roared, when the snow cut deep, when the empire began to crack, he did not fall. Not one step back, not one moment of doubt, with a will harder than stone. This is the story of a man who turned rock into a fortress, altitude into a weapon, and duty into legend. Ready to enter the fire and ice battlefield of episode 17.2? Episode 17.2, Svetozar Boroevic, the Lion of the Alps, Officers of the Broken Crown. Prologue, the Last Guardian of the Mountains. Alps, 1915. In a land where the sky hangs lower than the peaks, and every step is a battle with snow and wind, stands a commander who knows that the only thing that might still save a dying empire is stone. Stone, ice, and will. Svetozar Boroevic, a Croatian officer loyal to the Habsburg crown, and the only man in World War I to receive the rank of Field Marshal from Austria-Hungary. To some, he was a military genius. To others, the last faithful servant of a doomed monarchy. But to his soldiers, he was the Lion of the Alps. Scene 1. The General of the Impossible Front. Isonzo Front, 1915. Where other armies shatter against the cliffs, Boroevic begins to plan. Here, there is no path for attack, no easy way to defend. Maybe a chance. He decides to attempt something no commander had ever done before: turn an entire mountain range into a living fortress. Under torrents of shells and snow, his soldiers carve shelters into rock, build hidden paths, haul artillery to heights even mountain goats avoid. Italy attacks 11 times. 11 waves crash against the stone, and 11 times Boroevic stands. Scene 2. The Man Who Refused to Retreat. 1916-1917. In Vienna, politicians doubt. In Budapest, everyone is exhausted. On the Eastern Front, collapse is coming. But in the mountains, he sees only what he has always seen: duty. When food runs out, he shares his own rations with his men. When ammunition grows scarce, he orders stones rolled from the heights. When his soldiers freeze, he sits beside them. To him, defeat happens only when the last rock falls. And the rocks still stood. Scene 3. Caporetto, October 1917. A moment that shook Europe. Boroevic, alongside German stormtroopers, crafts a plan still studied in military academies: the infiltration offensive, the strike that collapses the entire Italian front in a single blow. Italy retreats, not 9 kilometers, not dozens, hundreds. An empire shaking in the east finds in the Alps a victory, and his name turns to legend. Scene 4. The Lion Without a Kingdom. 1918-1920. The empire falls. Soldiers return home. Borders shift. And Boroevic, a man who fought for the crown, becomes stateless. The new state fears him, fears his loyalty to the vanished empire, fears his popularity among the people. They give him no rank, no honors, no army. All his life, he wanted only one thing: to defend a frontier. Now, there is no frontier left to defend. He dies in poverty, not from defeat, but from being forgotten. Epilogue: The Guardian of Stone. Boroević was no poet, no politician, no dreamer of dangerous visions. He was a commander in an empire that could no longer protect its own commanders. But in the mountains, in the trenches still carved into the cliffs, in the paths made from ice and blood, his name endures. The Lion of the Alps, the last guardian of a broken empire. Boroević, the silent strategist, a commander who held the Eastern Front together, not with fire and fury, but with discipline, patience, and a calm that cut colder than winter. In the next episode, we follow a general who never shouted, never sought glory, yet with iron steadiness kept a collapsing army from dying outright. The saga of Boroević is the saga of quiet resistance, a battle fought in the swamps of Galicia and inside an army shrinking by the day. If you don't want to miss the story of the strategist who refused to let the front die, down below, subscribe now and ring the bell to be the first to enter episode 17.3 when it arrives.